face flushed with rage. He raised the invitation high and raised his voice. "Don't you know who I am? This is an official invitation. Charles invited me. My mother is the Queen. How dare you block me here?" The tension escalated.
The royal guards immediately became alert. They checked the final guest list, which William had approved only hours earlier. Tom Parker Bowles's name was not on it, not a single line. The security commander frowned, his voice calm but firm. "I'm sorry, sir. Your name is not on the list. We cannot allow you to enter." Tom's of confidence. He wore a perfectly tailored suit and held a gold-embossed invitation card, which he claimed had been sent directly by the royal office. "I am Tom Parker Bowles," he said arrogantly, "son of Queen Camilla. King Charles personally invited me to attend tonight at action."
He opened each page of the documents presenting the evidence clearly. Tom's midnight call, the money transfer, the guard's testimony. Each piece landed like a blade. Camilla tried to defend herself, her voice growing weaker. "I only wanted the family to be recognized. Charles, you must understand."
Charles sat in silence. "You secretly gave Tom the invitation after I rejected it. You thought I would stay silent to avoid a scandal. When the plan failed, you let your son counterattack through the media. This was not a personal mistake. It was a deliberate." Turned pale, trying to keep her voice steady but clearly shaking William. "You're misunderstanding. I know nothing about that post." William cut her off, his tone icy. "You know perfectly well," and communications advisors to trace it that very night. Within 2 hours, the results shocked but did not surprise him. The posting address originated from a computer in Camilla's private office at Clarence House. William clenched his jaw. Camilla had not only been behind the invitation, she had also covered up and supported her son's counterattack. Even if she had not written the post herself, her office had become the source of the smear campaign.
"Write it. Let everyone see his true face. Our family cannot be trampled like this."
The post was released from an anonymous account, but William did not sit idle. He immediately ordered the royal cybersecurity team. After receiving the call, William turned to the assistant standing nearby, his voice low but resolute. "Prepare for me. I will go to the gate and handle this personally. Do not let the matter spread before I arrive." On the way, William recalled
he was forced to win. Outside the castle gates, Tom continued arguing heatedly. His voice echoed in the night. "You will regret treating me like this." The air was taut as a bowstring. In just one night, the cracks within the royal family had been laid bare. After William glanced once at his father. Charles was still smiling and chatting with guests, unaware of anything. William knew this was not just a family dispute. This was a real power struggle, one ported directly to the highest level, Prince William. Inside the main hall of the castle, William was conversing with several donors when his phone vibrated. He glanced at the screen and his expression changed instantly. His blue eyes flashed with sharp suspicion, his jaw tightened. "Tom Parker Bowles is at the gate," he repeated, his voice dropping. He remembered the pressure Camilla's family had been exerting for months. Camilla had repeatedly suggested during dinners that she wanted Tom and her daughter Laura to be publicly recognized, more to be invited to important events as official members of the royal family. William had rejected rapidly. The security team remained unmoved. They had been trained to handle every sensitive situation, especially attempts to sneak into royal events. One officer quickly dialed his phone and "You're just taking revenge for your biological mother out of jealousy." The words cut like a sharp blade. William stood frozen, his eyes flashing with unconcealed fury. Memories of his mother, Princess Diana, flooded back. "That is my mother. She is an inseparable part of the royal family's history. As for you and Camilla's family, the royal family is not a tool for you to expand your personal influence. This is my final warning. Remove him from the castle grounds immediately." Pain she had endured because of Camilla was now crudely exposed in front of everyone. The staff around them whispered, all of them deeply shocked. William took a deep breath, controlling his emotions. His voice turned ice cold and rang out clearly. Diana...
Queen Camilla began, her voice warm yet firm. I think it's time for Tom to appear more publicly. The upcoming charity gala at Windsor is the perfect occasion. He will attend as a family member, helping to affirm our position within the royal family.
William remained silent for a moment, observing her. He knew exactly what lay behind the suggestion. Camilla's family did not want to remain on the periphery forever. They wanted official recognition. They wanted Tom and Laura to step into the spotlight.
What had happened a month earlier in a private meeting at Clarence's house. The atmosphere then had been much calmer. Camilla sat opposite him on a velvet-upholstered chair, her smile gentle but her eyes calculating. She had prepared carefully for this conversation. Staring at the screen, his voice low but resolute. There is no longer any doubt. Everything originated from Camilla's office. Early the next morning, he acted swiftly. William met privately with the guard already in the heir's hands. The real storm was about to break. That same night, after Windsor Castle had fallen quiet, William did not rest. He read the investigation report Tom had hired. In a private room with a lawyer present as witness, the man confessed everything under the weight of irrefutable evidence. Tom contacted me at midnight. The guard said, his voice trembling. He was furious and demanded I write a defamatory article about Prince William as revenge. I only urged within him. It was not only anger at the challenge to his authority. It was also the old pain that still smoldered after so many years. William had never forgotten what his mother, Princess Diana, had endured. Camilla was the main reason his mother had heavy atmosphere. Camilla left with a strained smile, but William knew she would not accept defeat easily. And now everything was clear. Tom stood outside the gate with an official invitation. Someone had secretly given him the ticket after the proposal was rejected. William was certain Camilla was behind it. Emotions lived in despair. Though time had passed and Charles had remarried, William could not erase those memories. I cannot let her manipulate things any further. William thought, his fists clenched so tightly, the knuckles turned white. He was the heir. The conversation lasted less than 5 minutes, but it was enough for dozens of palace staff to witness. Those nearby whispered among themselves, eyes wide with shock. The news spread like wildfire inside the castle. Prince William personally. The security team acted at once. 2 guards moved to either side of Tom and firmly gripped his arms. Tom struggled and screamed, "Don't you dare touch me, William! You will regret this!" But no one listened. Tom was escorted away from the gates of Windsor Castle in heavy silence. He kept turning his head and shouting, but his cries grew fainter. William remained standing, his gaze fixed on Tom's retreating figure. He felt no joy, only exhaustion mixed with determination. The entire confrontation expectation. Windsor Castle glowed brightly under the lights. This was an event the British royal family paid special attention to, both to demonstrate social respectational control more than ever before. Everything proceeded smoothly until an unwelcome figure appeared at the main gate of the castle. Tom Parker Bowles, Camilla's biological son, stepped out of his car with excessive responsibility and to affirm their leading position in public opinion. King Charles III appeared with a tired but warm smile, standing beside Prince William, who was gradually assuming real operational more than anything. Tom had hesitated at first, but Camilla reassured him, "This is our chance to affirm our position. If we don't do it now, William will tighten everything later. I don't want our family to forever be seen as extras." She was convinced the plan would succeed. The charity gala was a public event that attracted major media coverage. If Tom appeared and was photographed alongside royal family members, public opinion would automatically accept the presence of her family. William, no matter how angry, would have to stay silent. To avoid damage, Camilla called Tom in and handed her son the prepared invitation. Her voice was low but determined. "Take this. Go to the gala as a family member. William won't dare cause a scene in front of hundreds of guests and the media. He fears scandal." Orders from William. No one budged, despite Tom's threats. Tom began to panic in earnest. He glanced around, terrified that the media would soon notice and film him being blocked outside like an intruder. Humiliation surged through him. He had imagined himself walking into the gala as a royal family member respected by everyone. But after being refused a second time, his confidence quickly turned to panic and rage.
"Didn't you hear me?" Tom shouted, his voice trembling with fear mixed with fury. "I am Tom Parker Bowles. Camilla's son Charles invited me. If you block me here, you'll all lose your jobs. I guarantee it." He pointed a finger at the security commander's face, his voice growing shriller. "My mother is the queen. Who do you think you are to humiliate my family? Open the gate right now."
The royal guards stood like stone statues. They had received clear atmosphere, became even more suffocating. Tom Parker Bowles was still standing there, his face beet red and drenched in sweat despite the cool night. He was pointing aggressively at the security commander, his voice shrill with rage. The guards stood at attention, motionless. William stopped a few steps away, his voice low but commanding. "What is happening here?"
Tom spun around. When he saw William, the panic in his eyes briefly turned to resentment. "William, you finally show yourself! How dare you have me blocked at the gate like this? I am Camilla's son. This is an official invitation." William looked him straight in the eyes without flinching. "Your name is not on the list. You were not invited." Tom sneered, raising his voice. "Not invited." Rage and humiliation. He took a step forward, his voice echoing in the night. "Who do you think you are?" Diana was just a replacement. She was never worthy of that position. My mother's family is the one that truly belongs to the royal family. Camilla is the one Charles truly loves. As for you, my mother is the Queen King. Charles invited me. Are you deliberately humiliating my family?
The tension escalated quickly. Some palace staff and guards nearby began to gather, witnessing the entire confrontation. William kept his voice calm, but everyone could feel the weight in his words. "The royal family is not a place for you and your family to force your way in," William replied, each word clear. "I rejected Camilla's proposal a month ago. You have no right to be here."
Tom completely lost control. His face twisted with rage.
Right in the middle of the charity gala, an event the royal family was using to build a positive image. William clenched his fists, determined to resolve the matter thoroughly and quickly. When he appeared at the main gate, the already tense instead he was being held outside like an unwanted outsider. William walked quickly through the ancient stone corridors of Windsor Castle. The sound of his leather shoes echoed in the quiet space, but inside him, a storm of emotions raged. He could not let the situation drag on. If the media outside caught wind of it, dozens of cameras would be pointed at the castle gates within minutes. A scandal would The deeper they dug, the clearer the full picture became. This was not an impulsive act by Tom. It was part of Camilla's long-term effort to protect her shaky position. She feared William was gaining too much power, so she chose to play dirty, secretly providing the invitation while preparing a media counterstrike.
In the office, William stood up and told his assistant in a low but determined voice, "Gather all the evidence. We will not release it immediately, but it must be strong enough to end this once and for all." That night, while Camilla still hoped the anonymous post would create enough pressure to force William to back down, she had no idea the evidence was opinion. This was a deliberate move to reverse the situation and paint him as the aggressor rather than the victim of provocation. The truth behind the post was quickly uncovered. Tom Parker Bowles, after being escorted out of the gates of Windsor Castle in humiliation, had written William taking revenge for Diana and not allowing his mother's family any place. Tom was still shaking with anger when he spoke to the journalist on the phone, his voice full of resentment. "William thinks he can throw me out." Refused to stay silent. In his rage and deep sense of insult, he immediately contacted one of Camilla's trusted guards.
Tom recounted the story in a way that benefited himself, and he paid a significant sum for the journalist to write a defamatory article emphasizing,
but at least he had stopped the dangerous precedent. Tom had not set foot inside the gala. The dangerous precedent had not been created. At that moment, only one clear thought remained in William's mind. This was no longer a family matter. This was a power struggle, and he had just gained the first advantage. When he returned to the event, the polite social smile reappeared on his lips, but his eyes remained cold. The gala continued, the music still played, but throughout Camilla's son, the story was passed mouth to mouth in moments. William turned and returned to the gala hall. Before stepping inside, he paused and took a deep breath. He knew the incident could not stay secret forever. The media would dig soon enough. Major events. He presided over many charitable activities, made strategic decisions, and the public began to regard him as the real pillar of the monarchy. In contrast, Camilla became a quiet, rarely seen figure with no real power. William stood on the balcony of Buckingham Palace one afternoon, looking out over London. He felt no joy in victory, only exhaustion mixed with a heavy sense of responsibility. The silent war had ended. The royal family still stood firm, but real power had been transferred. And William had proven that in this monarchy,
William was seen as the one truly controlling the future of the British royal family. A decisive heir who knew how to protect the legacy and put the greater good above all.
Just a few weeks later, William's image appeared more strongly as people with real status in the Windsor line. He shook his head and replied bluntly, "I do not agree. If Tom appears publicly at a major event like the gala, the public will interpret it as him having an official role in the royal family. That cannot happen." Camilla tried to persuade him, her tone softer. "It's just one evening. Charles also wants the family to be more harmonious." William looked her straight in the eyes, his voice turning cold. "The royal family is not a place to expand influence for any private family. We have already made that clear." The conversation ended in a...
How can you do that with your own children?
Beneath the dazzling lights of the charity gala at Windsor Castle, Tom Parker Bowles, Queen Camilla's son from her previous marriage, was stopped right at the castle gates on the direct orders of Prince William. There was no welcome, no exception, only the cold, steely gaze of the heir to the throne directed at the man he had never truly considered part of the real Windsor family. The atmosphere grew tense the moment Tom loudly brought up Princess Diana. What's more, just hours after the incident, an anonymous post suddenly appeared, launching a direct attack on Prince William. For him, this was no longer merely a dispute over a guest list. It was an old wound. Camilla of the United Kingdom suddenly found herself isolated within the very royal family she had spent years fighting to enter. There were no more private meetings with Charles, no more invitations to internal events, and even her closest family members were coldly and systematically pushed to the margins. That had never healed a wound dating back to the years his mother suffered because of Camilla. Is this just a family drama or a silent power struggle within the British royal family itself? Overnight, everything changed completely. The scandal at the Windsor Castle charity gala 2 months earlier was not merely an incident. It was the final straw that shook the entire power structure. The biggest charity gala of the year took place in an atmosphere of formality and high pain. This was an attempt to erase traces and flip public opinion, turning William into the villain. The next morning, pressure on the royal office surged. The office was forced to issue a vague response, but the silence only fueled the rumors. William sensed the danger clearly. If he did not expose the truth in time, his image would suffer serious damage. He immediately convened a small group of 2 trusted advisors and a technology expert. They worked silently through the night, compiling all the evidence, email exchanges between Tom and the journalist, call records, transfer records, and especially confirmation of the posting address from Camilla's office. The private meetings with Charles grew rarer. her family was systematically pushed to the margins. Internal media and public opinion gradually shifted. William participate in important internal events. Tom is completely banned from all royal activities. The consequences came swiftly and irreversibly. Although Camilla retained the title of Queen Consort, she became increasingly isolated. Ceremonies, official tours, and even in the room. Camilla lowered her head, tears rolling down her cheeks, not from remorse, but because she knew she had lost. Charles sighed heavily and announced the final decision. From now on, Camilla's family will no longer be allowed to change the entire royal family's image. That was Camilla's cold calculation, a woman who had fought for years to reach her current position. But Camilla had made a fatal mistake. She did not know that William had already prepared. Right after the meeting a month earlier, William had privately summoned the head of the security team and issued a clear order. If Tom Parker Bowles appears at any royal event, especially at Windsor Castle, report to me immediately. Do not allow him in without my direct permission. The order had been passed down to the entire security team. Therefore, when Tom appeared at the castle gates, things did not go as Camilla expected. Outside Windsor Castle, the atmosphere was extremely tense. Tom Parker Bowles stood there, his face flushed red sweat beading on his forehead despite the cool night air. At first, he was still confident, waving the invitation and loudly declaring himself the son of the Queen Consort. Carrying great weight. I am not doing this out of personal hatred. I am doing it for the future of the royal family.